Welcome again for the continuation. Previously, we were discussing about homologous structure and we were given two examples, pentadactyl limbs and the beaks of the birds. The third example of homologous structure is the feet of the bird. For the feet of the birds, when you look at the bird's feet, they are appearing different. Yet, these birds have similar embryonic origin. In classification, they belong in kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata, class Aves. But when you look at the feet, they come in different versions. For example, we have this feet of the weaver bird. This feet of the weaver bird is meant for grasping the twig. And for it to grasp the twig, it has clenched feet so that they can be able to grasp the twig where they are landing. We have spur fowl bird. These are terrestrial bird. This terrestrial bird is adapted for walking on the ground, but slightly flying. Now, with them, they are ground scratching to be able to obtain their food. For them to obtain their food, they scratch the ground, and when you look at their feet, they are spread with sharp talons or claws. We have water bird by the name wadder. So they wade in water. That means walking in water. The feet is short, strong, well spread, with sharp talons for being able to walk in water. Next, we have the duck batter. It is adapted partly in water, and in water it occasionally floats on the surface. For it to float, it has to reduce its weight. And for it to reduce its weight, when the feet is spread on the surface of the water, because of the web, they are able to float on the surface of the water. The presence of the web on the feet. Then we have this bird, which is eagle. The eagle, it is a heavy clawed. What you can see conspicuously are the talons or the claw. For which purpose? We know that the eagle feed on flesh. And for them to be able to feed on flesh, we mentioned about the beak, that it's sharp, strong, and curved. And in combination with that, the feet are sharp talons for tearing the flesh. That one represents the example of the homologous, the third example of the homologous structure. Then we have mouth parts in insects. For the insects, we have insects whose mouth parts are adapted for chewing, like the grasshopper. We have others that their mouth parts are adapted for sucking. Example is the mosquito, which have the proboscis to inject into the human skin and suck blood. Convergent evolution. A type of evolution where structures of organisms from different embryonic origin are modified to perform same function. The type of evolution where structures of organisms from different embryonic origin, organisms from different embryonic origin, and these are type of evolution where the structure of organisms from different embryonic origin are modified to perform same function. That is the simplest definition of that. And convergent evolution gives rise to structures, and this structure is analogous structure. Analogous structure, now, in homologous, we said together, then separate. For analogous structure, we put our hands apart. What is the symbol of this? The symbol of this is that this is an organism and this is an organism. They are coming from different embryonic origin. So organism of different embryonic origin, their structure of organism with different embryonic origin, they are modified to perform similar function. Different embryonic origin modified to perform similar function. And that is the definition. Structures of organism with the different embryonic origin modified to perform similar functions. What are the examples of convergent analogous structure? 1. Wings of bat and wings of insect. 2. Eyes of vertebrates and those of the mollusk, such as the octopus. Now, wings. So when we look at the wings, we discover that we have the wings of the bat, we have the wings of the insect, and we have the wings of the bird. Bat, insect, and bird, all of them have some difference. They are not closely related. Why? The bird belongs to class Apes. The insect belongs to class Insecta, while the bat belongs to class Mammalia because of the presence of mammals, presence of hair, and also presence of mammary glands for the bat. They belong to class Mammalia. So distant, they are not closely related, but their structure, that is their wings, are modified for performing the same function, and the function is flying. Vestigial structure, another type of structure. They are structures that have not been put into use for a long period of time, and they have reduced in size, therefore ceased to function. Which are these structures? For instance, we went home because of the pandemic issue of coronavirus. And at home, some of us possibly have not recalled that we are still students, therefore detached themselves from matters to do with the pen and book. You'll discover that those students, when they come back to school, when this pandemic is over, they might have problems even just getting hold of the pen and writing. Why? Because the hand has not been practicing to write. And because of that, therefore, we can slightly say then it has become a vestigial structure. So structures that have not been put in use for a period of time, and as a result, they reduce in size, therefore cease to function, are referred to as vestigial structure. Examples: human appendix is the simplest example. Human appendix being the simplest example is there. We have that human appendix. That is part of the system, digestive system of the human being. With the part of digestive system of the human being, we have the appendix there, and we have the caecum. These two parts have no significant role in human being. On the contrary, we have the appendix of the rabbit. A rabbit is a herbivore, and being a herbivore, it is able, the appendix, the caecum, contain bacteria which secrete enzyme cellulase, and that enzyme digests cellulose in grass to glucose and amino acid. So that one has a significant role, but in human being does not have a significant role, and that is an example of vestigial structure. The other example of vestigial structure is the flightless bird by the name kiwi. This bird is where we get the shoe polish from. Look at it. When you look at it, you might think it's a chick, yet it's a completely formed bird. This bird, when you look, it is not having the wings are reduced and if in fact not conspicuously seen. So they have become flightless birds. They cannot fly. Why? They were not practicing to fly for a long period of time, therefore tend to be heavy, and therefore the structures have become vestigial. The other vestigial structure is the coccyx in man, that it is there present, but it does not have a significant role in man. It is just there, but it does not have any significant role, therefore referred to as a vestigial structure. Then we have now the eye. The eyes of human being, the eyes of all, the cat, the toad, crocodile, and shark. These eyes can also be seen as analogous structure. They can be seen as analogous structure because they are from different embryonic origin, but they perform the same function, that is vision. Under vestigial is that we have the human eye and the octopus being a vestigial structure.